Hey everybody, and welcome to the brand new episode of the Zenit International Podcast.
No, no,
I,
no, no, no,
I,
no.
I, I
Let's
know this
let's
podcast has
let's
been
stop
around
that.
for a while.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's
Welcome
not
back,
do that.
the Zenit International Podcast. The OGs will all know. We're back
Yeah, the
again.
OGs will all know, but they killed that shit, and now it's dead. So,
Well,
yeah,
now we're bringing it back with new characters.
you are bringing it back. It's like the Stephen A. Smith video. Do not attach any of this to me. This is all Artem.
Show the
Um,
crest, Hanu. Show the crest.
I'm not going to show the class. Listen, please. You know,
So
this is the
I'm sure the listeners, the viewers, will be able to tell what you're wearing. They smashed our dislike goal last week, which was quite impressive actually. It got smashed in like less than a day. So, you know, this week we're gonna try to turn those dislikes into likes. So if you do
yes,
enjoy this,
please, please
please
like.
leave a like. Me and Hanu will be, if we can get 8 likes this week, me and Hanu will make Russian football themed diss tracks on each other, and
Okay, fine. Okay, I guess.
and diss each other on the podcast next week, and that would be fun. So, um, yeah, I suppose we better get into actually talking about stuff and not just chatting shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, no, no. We got a lot to talk about this week. First of all, the important stuff. Let's get the important stuff out of the way
okay,
because there's a lot of football. Donda is out. You haven't
Donda,
listened to it.
Donda is out. I haven't listened to it because
That's not very Christ-like. Like Kanye is upset at you.
yeah,
God is upset at you.
it's not Christ-like, but I'll tell you what, the album doesn't sound like it's very Christ-like either. Um,
It's
I
pretty
have
Christ-like. Lots of God there.
I was really looking forward to listening to be honest because there was a lot of hype around it and um well I felt like it died out after the first one or two times it got delayed. And then once it finally got released, you were really excited. You listened to it straight away. But then, like from your tweets, from just a lot of tweets that you liked, a lot of other tweets on my timeline, like you could just tell it's not the greatest. So I haven't listened to it yet.
It's just
Although
too
you're
long,
telling
man.
me
It's too long.
that's what it
Yes.
sounds like. Yeah, like you said that the first 10 songs are good, so I'll listen to the first 10. But I don't know if I'll make it past that.
So the first 10 songs are amazing. After that, it just gets really, really like. If he kept it at 10 songs, it would have been one of the like all-time albums or some shit. But he just too much, too much,
That sounds
too
like
much.
that sounds ridiculous for me because it doesn't even sound like the first 10 songs are like that good because you think of like all time albums like even just think of Kanye albums like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy like that was an unbelievable album like every song on that is really good and I just can't
Yeah.
imagine him making
No,
music these
I
days that's that good.
you got to listen to give the first 10 a chance and tell me what you think, right?
Okay,
Um, but also as important, Drake is dropping tomorrow.
Drake
So
is dropping tomorrow.
what are your predictions? Football is important, but Drake doesn't drop every week. So
No.
this is big. This is big. What are your
uh
predictions? Do you think it's going to be good?
Well, let's just say I hope that Drake drops a bar about the top five leagues being England, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany. Because that just means that in 2 years' time, Russia will somehow make it up there. But
I did say that I want some sort of football reference, some sort
there
of
will be a
Sparta,
football reference.
some
There will be. I feel like he's getting immersed into that culture a bit. Like
yeah.
he had uh, a Ronaldo line back in Scorpion or something, and he's had a few. So I'm waiting for that. I'm also waiting for a Giannis line.
Oh, what? Oh, Giannis line. There are mad Giannis lines on that shit. Giannis lines, Bucks lines, Toronto line. That's definitely going to be there. That might be one on the first track.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. But otherwise, I think both of me and you both agreed before the podcast that, like you said, the album cover's trash, the name of the album is trash, everything's trash. Yeah,
It's all trash.
for sure. So that means the album has to be good. So
Yeah, it
fingers
has to.
crossed. Drake
Otherwise,
Drake don't let us down. I know you're listening. So
yeah, I know you are listening. Please don't let us down. Um, but then we actually have to talk about football, sadly.
Yes.
Um, there's nothing to
Sadly
talk
for
about in
you,
the
not sadly
RPL.
for me. I'm enjoying
Yeah,
this.
I'm not gonna talk about. I'm over that disappointment. Like, if there's anything you want to talk about, talk about it. Spartak lost again. Ha ha, funny. Laugh at my expense. Um, Krasnodar beat Ruben Kazan. Ruben Kazan are pretenders. Uh, Dinamo drew against Loco. Nice for them. And Zenit beat CSK. That was a tight game, but
Yeah, it
Zenit
was.
won.
It was. It was. Hasman scoring, and we thought that might be his last goal for Zenit. But spoilers, it's not.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Spoiler alert. It wasn't.
but yeah, this feels like so long ago. Even though, like the thing is, obviously, we usually record on, what is it, Thursday or Friday, and because these games were on Thursday and Friday, we recorded really early last week, and now these games feel like a century ago. So we won't even go into them that much because there's not really any point. Karelia won, picking up more points, so they are wearing the table at this point, right beside Spartak. Deserved, really. Um,
It's
but
sad.
that's what the table is looking at the first international break. Pretty interesting up the top. Zenit, Dinamo, Sochi, Lokomotiv, like Ruben. There's loads of teams up there fighting for those top spots. Spartak are not. They
Not
are
yet. Not
trying to
yet.
stay
Yeah, you
away
have
from
to
the
like
relegation battle.
you have to
Um,
say yet. It's a very long season. Very, very
Yuri
long
Soman
season.
is only 3 points away from overtaking.
Oh yeah, he is. But he's not gonna get them. No, Rostov gonna get relegation.
Oh, I don't know about that, Hanu. I don't know about that. If you
They might get relegated though, bro.
Look at
No, I'm not
Spartak's
talking
last
about.
two games. How many points did Spartak get in the last two games?
No, no, no. But that has nothing to do with the fact
No,
that
no, no.
Rostov
It does.
might get
It's form.
relegated.
No, no. Tell me, how many points have they got in the last two games?
One
And how
one
many
in the
points
last.
have Rostov got in the last two games?
No, no, four. Okay, I mean, no, but Rostov can still get relegated.
So can Spartak.
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm not talking about Spartak. Nothing I can disagree with. I'm just saying Rostov might get relegated.
Oh, Hanu, what would you do if the relegation this season was Rostov, Spartak, Ahmad, and I don't know,
Shit.
name another team.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do, man. Like, what could have been done? I think you'll see the meltdown live. So, progressively you'll see what happens if that happens. But
Yeah,
Ural are getting relegated. I think we can all get behind that. We can all get behind that.
they're not doing well.
Um,
They're not doing well at all. Like, and it's obviously, like you said, it's a long season. There's still a lot that can happen, but it's almost impossible right now to think of a team that they can beat in the league.
Yeah.
So, not looking good for them. Not looking good for Andrew Flint, unfortunately. But we'll see what they can do after the international break. Maybe like you never know. They did make one signing today. They could make another one or two, but I just can't imagine there's any decent players that would go to them first of all, and second of all be able to keep them up. If Bigfalvi can get good again, that could change things. But will he? I don't know.
Amen. Yeah. So I think that's all for the RPL. We don't
Let's
really need to
move on
talk
to the
about it.
international stage. The
No, no,
big
no.
one.
Let's move on to the draws first because we don't have that tab up and we'll forget about it.
Okay,
Um,
right.
UCL Europa League draws came out. Champions League draws. Zenit are the only team in it. They've got Chelsea, Juventus, and Malmo. What's happening there, Art?
So you said we got Chelsea, Juve, and Malmo. I think that see Zenit are the only ones with a crest on this, which means we're gonna come top of the table. You know how the thesis works, Hannah. We've proven it time and time again, but for real, I think that we have a shot at second, maybe, but
No, you
realistically,
don't have a what? You
yeah.
don't. How does Zenit have a shot at second?
I think if we can shithouse one result against Juventus, then we have a shot
You
against them
know
at
how
second.
Russian clubs are in Europe, man. You
I
can't
know,
shit
but
house
I'm
result
still gonna
against
go
them.
into it confidently. But what I'm gonna say is like the way I predicted it was I predicted Zenit would come third, and I think that genuinely will happen. I think that although Malmo, they're not the weakest team in the competition, I think that Zenit will have enough cop on this season to get a result or two against them, and if we can pick up any results against Chelsea or Juventus anywhere along the way, then I'll be happy.
It has to happen, by the way. Like if Zenit finished last, then the entire organization should be sacked.
Yeah, if Zenit finish last, I think Semak is gonna have to leave. But
He has to. Surely, like a lot of changes need to happen if you finish
yeah,
last.
yeah, no, I know it's gonna
Um,
be a tough one, but I think like there's a few things that make me think that we have a real good shot this year. First of all, we finally signed a keeper after me saying for ages, for probably 2 years at this point, that we need a goalkeeper. We finally got a goalkeeper, and we'll reveal who that is. I'm sure everybody knows, listening already knows who it is, but we'll talk about it later on in the podcast. We finally have a goalkeeper. I feel like the team is, you know, experienced enough in the Champions League now that they can kind of push on. I think that Asmoon will be hoping to really prove himself on the European stage to get himself a good move in either January or as a free agent in next summer. So I just think a mix of all of that stuff is gonna get us through.
that's why, yeah, because you only really need one win. You need one win to get through.
No, you
Assuming
don't
that,
need one win. Realistically you need minimum 4 points, and those 4 points need to come against Malmo.
yeah, but if you get those 4 points, because that's what Krasnodar did, right? They beat Rennes and they drew
Yeah.
with Rennes. So yeah, fair
See,
enough.
you never know because Malmo, like I don't know, like obviously we have Malmo. This isn't their first time playing in Europe, so like it's not gonna be like one of those stories. Like for example, like Sheriff are playing in the Champions League, and like I wouldn't bet against them picking up a surprise result against someone, just purely because it's their first competition ever, and you just like it's kind of a fairy tale thing. Whereas with Malmo, it's kind of like yeah, they're usually there, but they're usually bottom. So
Malmo do have a couple of decent players that I recognize, but Zenit really should win that game.
yeah,
You can
no,
make the excuses,
without a
you
doubt.
can I mean, yeah. But here's a question right now. RFN put out a tweet saying that Azmoun's move to Lyon breaking down was disappointing.
Yeah,
And people in the comments weren't happy because they thought that, oh, why is it disappointing? Zenit get to keep their best player, blah 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 blah. And they were saying, oh, they get to keep him now, and then next season he can go on free. How is that good for Zenit? You're getting 12, 16, 15 million for him now. Next season, you're not going to get nothing. I don't understand how that's good.
I suppose people are thinking of it just purely from performance, but yeah, I actually kind of agree with you, and I think that people also neglect the fact that the more players move from the Russian league to top five leagues to leagues that are better in general and prove themselves, the better it is going to be for the league long term anyway. So like,
Yeah,
okay,
true.
yeah, we're gonna miss a player who's scored so many goals in the Russian league, as who's you know arguably been one of the best strikers in recent years. But like, we all get to that point where you know you got to realize Osman has to go.
He has, and he should have left, to be fair. I mean, for the best of his career. Like, if he extends his contract, then of course, great for Zenit, but it's going to be really disappointing just from the perspective of the league. Um,
Yeah, I think
yeah, that's
he's
going to be
going
really
to
good.
extend. I think he's gonna
Yeah,
extend.
it's
I
a
think
shame. It's a shame, but he probably is.
yeah. I don't know. He seems like the type of person who's quite comfortable in Russia, and I feel like the way he'll push himself is maybe try to do better in Europe and not actually
Go to
move to
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we'll find out next year. We'll find out in the
We
next
will.
six
We
to
will
ten
find
months.
out soon. So that's one group. The Europa League groups are the other two. We'll talk about the Loco group first because it's very, very, very fun. It's football heritage, as they say.
Okay.
It's Galatasaray, Lazio, Marseille, and Loco. That is really, really fun. Anybody could win that. Anybody could finish fourth. I'm very excited for that for this group.
Yeah, and there's that tweet that was like, if you had to, UEFA clearly just put all the teams that they were worried about their hooligans in the same group,
Yeah,
which I thought was bit stupid, but at the same time it is kind of funny. Like,
it is fun. No, it is funny, but Loco don't have fans is the problem. Like if it was one other Russian team maybe, or if it was like Red Star or something, then yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know.
have put
It's
that.
funny because like I've been to Russia a good few times. I've been to a lot of Russian football matches, and the only issue I've ever actually had has been with a Lokomotiv fan. So like
Yeah, you should have just called Ilya, have the goons sort him out.
I was in
Nobody
Nizhny
would know.
Novgorod at that point. It wasn't. It wasn't even me that had the issue. It was Connor. I don't know if I told you the story or not. Did I?
Connor start beefing a Russian man on the train.
No. What happened was we were standing outside after we were watching the World Cup game
Oh,
over
was it
there.
the thing where he was wearing a shirt and the fan got really mad?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
So Connor was wearing a. I can't remember if it was a Lokomotiv jersey or if it was a bucket hat, but it was one or the other. So this guy comes up to him, starts speaking to him, and Connor obviously didn't speak Russian, and I was over getting some food or something like that, and he called me over. He was like, "Oh, come here, like I don't know what this guy's saying to me." So the guy comes, like I come over to the guy. I'm like, "Oh, what's the story?" He's like, "Oh, like where's this guy from?" And I said, "Oh, he's from Ireland." Like, and he's like, "Why is he wearing a Lokomotiv jersey or a Lokomotiv hat or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, like we were in Moscow. We played at their training grounds and stuff like that." So he picked up a souvenir and he was like, "Oh, souvenir, is that all this is to you? I've been fighting for this club since I was like 12 or 13 or something like that. Like I've got the scars to prove it." Like so something along those fucking stupid lines. And I was like, "Oh, great for you." I was like, this was just after Lokomotiv have won the league, so I was like, "Oh, you must have been delighted that they won the league." And he was like, "Yeah, I am. Like I've been I've been waiting for this moment for a long time and all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, grand, grand." And he goes, "Let's go for a drink." And I was like, "No, we've got a train to catch." And he was like, "No, let's go for a drink." And I was like,
You
"No,
don't say no to that.
I've got a train to catch." And he goes, "All right, fine, fine." So he goes, "Let me take a picture with Connor first then." And I was like, "Why do you want to take a picture of him?" And he was like, "I just want to take a picture with this Lokomotiv fan. Like it's weird to see a foreign Lokomotiv fan." And I was like, "Okay, fine, Connor, just getting a picture with him, whatever." And then he takes out this flag from his bag, right? And I can't remember what was on the flag, but I was like, immediately I was like, "No, alright, fuck this." And we just started walking away. He was like, "Get fucking back here." And we were like, "No way." So we just kind of ran, legged it into the train station. And yeah, thankfully never saw that guy again.
Lives were in danger at that point.
He was properly like. See, like I'm starting to forget details, but like it was much more terrifying than I feel like I described it there. Like it was quite scary, and the guy was very like pressed and like he wasn't happy with us. So
Yeah.
look,
Thankfully, you got out of there in one piece, though.
oh yeah,
Um,
like you know how it is. It's
yeah, no, I know how it is. But who do you think's gonna? How do you think Loco gonna do in this group?
I said, what did I say in my tweet? I said they're gonna come first.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
did
gonna
say
stick
last
with my
week.
guns. I'm gonna say that they're gonna come first. I feel like this is before their signings, by the way. I said that they were going to come first. But I think that, especially with the signings they have now, and they've got a lot of players who have a lot to prove. They're playing well. Fyodor Smolov is in great form. Zhamaletnov is in fantastic form as well. I feel like they're strong. And this is going to be one of these groups where if they can get 3 or 4 wins, that's going to absolutely put them in first place. So I think they can do that.
I think this will be one of those groups where it's the last match day and anyone can come first and anyone can come fourth. I think it's going to be one of those because all these teams are so unpredictable.
Yeah.
So it's
So
just interesting at
hang
the
on
end.
though. What happens then?
You come third, you go to the conference league, and
Is
then
it
you win.
because
Yeah,
that's not what it says on Google. So like that's what I was wondering because it said it differently.
Google
So
is frauds. Google
okay,
is
so
frauds.
it's first and second place go. It's the same as the Europa League always,
Hmm.
and then third place goes to conference. So like
Yes,
realistically, Lokomotiv should be getting into the conference league at least, but I think that they will come first and
if they
get
are in
where
the
we want
conference
them
league,
to be.
they'll if 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 a Russian club gets into the conference league, they'll win it. I'll tell you right now. That's my prediction. That's what I'm
Maybe.
manifesting that. The last group that we have is Spartak's group. Um, Very nice from a media perspective. Very nice. It's Leicester, Napoli, Sparta, and Legia. So the good thing here is that nobody's expecting anything from us. So yeah, um, game against Legia is going to be tough. They have a couple of players that I really like. Um, but again, it's one of those things, man. Like Legia aren't doing too well in their league, so if we can just shit house or win a draw, get to the Conference League, figure it out, win it, then yeah, it's
No
gonna be
wonder
cool.
that's why you're saying that. Okay. Well, I'm saying Spartak are going to come last in this group. I think that they don't have the capacity.
We do not have the capacity.
That's exactly what I was going for. Yeah. Or they don't have the facilities for that big man.
They do not. Yeah, right now we don't, but I think we're gonna win everything. We're gonna win the trouble. I'm still believing.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's a.
Yeah.
Do you want to put a bet on that?
No, I don't.
I'll put my
Definitely.
house on it.
I don't want to put it right. Um, but yeah, that's all for the groups. What else do we have? We have Russia, Croatia, don't we?
Yeah, we've got the World Cup qualifiers,
Yeah.
and to be
I
honest,
didn't watch this.
yeah, that's what I was
Artem
gonna
didn't
say as
either.
well. Neither me or Hanu watched this game, but apparently it was quite close. 0-0 against
Yeah.
Croatia. If you'd said it to us before the game, we would have definitely taken it. So really can't complain with that one. It leaves
Yeah.
Russia second in the group, tied on points with Croatia, one on goal difference below um, below Vlasic and the boys. Um, you know, tough enough group. Surprised that Malta and Cyprus have so many points. Not gonna lie, but Russia have them two to play left, so
Hopefully that should be a win.
it should be two wins. It should be
Should be two
another
wins, yeah.
6 points at the end of this international break, and that would put us in a good position for the rest of the games. But
Yeah, the lineup was really weird though, wasn't it? Because it was Gilhem, unfortunately, and then it was Zakarian in the false nine with Kuziaev and Ionov up front. There was no Rifat, there was no um, Fedor Smolov, which for some reason he didn't play, even though you know what I think about Fedor Smolov. Um, Defense is fine, defense is cool, but
oh yeah,
yeah,
for
it's
anybody
just
who
weird.
can't see the right back, it's Fernandez. He's behind
Yeah,
Hanu's head.
it is. There
But
you go.
yeah, like I think it's a solid enough lineup. I think it's interesting that we're actually not playing five at the back. Obviously change manager, change formation, all that kind of stuff. The defense is solid. I can't complain with it. The only one thing about it is Guilherme. Like I don't know why he's there, but I wouldn't really even count that as a defense. Goalkeeper's his own position. Like so, he shouldn't be in there. It should have been Dupin or Lunyov or like, Jesus. Well, obviously they're the only keepers in yesterday's squad, but it should have been anybody except him. Um, Interesting to see Zakharyan starting up front, especially when you consider that Ionov was on the wing. I thought it would have made more sense to maybe put Zakharyan on the right wing and Smolov or one of the target men up front. Are you dead?
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
talking.
you're just listening. Okay, I thought the midfield was pretty good as well. I like the trio of Baranov, Golovin, and Miranchuk as well. I think that they're all solid. Honestly, the two players I'd change from this is Guilherme and Ionov. Maybe Kuzev as well, but not too mad about him being here.
Yeah, no, they played well is the thing, so I can't really complain. That's all everybody's saying that Ionov actually played well, Zabalotny played well off the bench. But personally, I would put Rifat in place of Ionov, um, and I don't know, somebody else in place of Kuziaev and Fedor. Zakharyan in place of Kuziaev, Fedor Smolov up front, and you're winning the World Cup.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that could be really. That would actually be a really, really good front three.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Although saying that, Jamaletnov, like, is he better on the left or the right? I'd say almost on the left. Have him on the left, Zaharan on the right.
Yeah. Because Ionov and not Ionov, Rifat and Smolov are playing like Messi and Neymar, so we
Yeah,
have to help them.
exactly. Yeah,
Have to help them.
even better than
You have
those two. So
Yeah.
Look, Messi's only played one game off the bench. Like he can't even start for PSG.
You
It's a
can't
fraud.
start for PSG. That is true. Ronaldo went back to United, by the way. That was a crazy day.
Oh my
Um,
god, that was insane.
yeah, that was great. Cause I was there in my house, and at that point he was going to Man City, and I left, and I came like an hour later, and he was at United. So that's the type of shit that was going on.
Yeah, no, it was it
Um,
was it was insane. Like there were so many people, like including me, because I like. Although I don't watch that much of the Prem now, I used to watch it so much as a kid, because like it's the football you watch over in Ireland. Like I suppose it's the football you watch everywhere, but Jesus, like United were always my team, and Ronaldo was kind of the reason I supported them. So to see him linked to City was so upsetting. But then to
yeah.
see the way it's turned out has made me so excited because I'm gonna start watching United matches again. Like I hope that they do really well. Love for them to win the league. Love for them to win the Champions League over Messi. That would be a final and a half. Imagine United
That would
against
be fun.
PSG. Oh ho ho, oh
Mm,
ho
that would
ho.
be
But that would be really really cool. So I haven't been so excited about football in a long time. So
yeah, man. It's a very weird time in football. Very weird transfer window, but I don't think we'll ever see a window like it again.
no, that's the
So much
thing.
stuff happened.
Imagine telling someone at the start of the window, Ronaldo's gonna leave, not just leave. He's gonna go to Man United.
Yeah.
Messi's
He's
gonna
gonna
go to
leave.
PSG. Griezmann's going back to Atletico.
That was wild. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was wild.
That's what I mean. Like,
Um,
it, Messi's gonna be replaced by Luke De Jong.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's been absolutely crazy. Like, who would have thought that West Ham would go to Moscow and take two players? Who
Two
would have?
players, yeah,
Who would have
two players.
thought?
I'm gonna watch a lot of their games now, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, me
Because
too.
so
And
let's
who?
get to that, I guess.
Oh no, there's
Yeah,
only
no, no, go on,
there's
go
a
on.
few little things that we have to discuss still, but geez, like it has been the craziest window. The one thing I wanted to say while we're on the topic of Ronaldo, he killed us yesterday. It was it wasn't him, I guess, so much as the referee. The referee didn't give us a
Lads,
penalty.
lads were robbed. Lads were robbed apparently.
Yeah, didn't give us a clear cut penalty. Um, didn't like okay. I don't agree that Ronaldo should have been sent off, but there was an argument for it. Just before he
That
took the
was
penalty,
funny
Dara
though.
O'Shea
Yeah, that was
kicked the
that
ball
was
away and
funny.
he pushed him. But Jesus, it's so painful to lose like that. But we'll move on to the transfers. Let's do this.
It's actually funny. It's a good thing it was Dara O'Shea and not Bernard Berisha. Bernard Berisha would have required like he would have started crying. He would have fallen over, required a stretcher, started complaining like.
Mm,
So he kicked it off, didn't he, last
t-
week?
who?
Bernard Berisha.
Oh yeah, yeah, he did.
What a guy.
He's just a mad bastard. He's always starting fights though. But
Yeah.
let's move on to transfers. Let's get right into this. Zenit
Yeah.
have finally signed a goalkeeper. I was talking about this earlier in the pod, but this is the Zenit International podcast, by the way. It still is.
No, it is
You're
not.
not.
It's not
You,
the.
we have not said the name of actual the name of this
This is
podcast.
this
No
is
no
the
no no no
whatever
no
this is
no no
now.
no 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 no. I'm gonna mute you. Don't talk. This is the Zenit International podcast, episode 10 or whatever it is, because they didn't do that many.
They didn't do that many, man. They didn't do that many.
Yeah. So, Kritsyuk was announced. For anybody who doesn't know, this man is a goalkeeper. Was playing in Portugal for a lot of his career. Moved to Krasnodar. Didn't do the best and went back to Portugal and apparently has been in the form of his life. So Zenit have signed him for 1 million.
Oh, it's been like two and a half or something. But yeah, nice presentation, I guess. The
Yeah,
thing
this.
is, while the presentation rolls on, this is interesting for a
By
number
the
of
way,
reasons. Because
oof, Jesus, that went all. I like the fact that they said he moved to Krasnodar and look at the crest they've put.
yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny.
Hilarious, hilarious. Very
Um,
good from Zenit.
good, good, good.
Good. Okay.
But this basically like tells you how Russian players can move abroad and just completely their careers can be revived. Because Nobody cared about Kritsyuk last year. Nobody cared. In fact, he moved in January to Belenenses and was like the best goalkeeper in the league there. Then he left, free agent. He moved to another club, and he moved to a club that finished like 1 point above Belenenses. And this was in July or something. And like a couple of months later, he has a 2 million euro move to a Champions League club where he's going to be the number one.
Yeah.
So the Portuguese guys got a good bit of money from that
Yeah,
for no reason.
absolutely. They'll be delighted with that.
And
But I, Hanu, did I say to you before? I think I may have said it to you that I wanted him. He was in my list of goalkeepers that I thought.
yeah, but I think we discussed it like briefly, and we discussed him with Matryushkin and stuff. But I don't know if we said yes or no. But like it makes sense.
I think he's gonna be great. I think he's the type of keeper that I've been kind of crying out for. Like everybody knows my opinion on Kershakov at this point. Actually, I have his brother on the back of this shirt, but everybody knows my opinion on him already. Like I think that he is always there to make the saves that he's expected to make, but he never saves the team from anything. Like
Yes.
there's never a time that it's 1-on-1 and the XG is like 50-50 or something like that, and he'll save it. It's always a goal. Like it's painful really, because when you get into those situations he's never gonna make a wonder save, whereas like Kritsyuk actually might. So that's what I'm looking forward to. A bit of excitement at that end. So good sign
Yeah.
in
No,
my
fair
opinion.
enough. That's fair. Who else? Who else we got? We got loads of people.
We've got this guy.
So who cares, bro?
We've got this guy.
Who cares?
Are you telling me you don't care about Leo Goglichidze?
Lie to me and tell me you care about this transfer.
Hanu,
Lie to me. No, lie. It's fine.
I was
Fine.
saying
This is not.
they need to sign somebody to stay
No,
up.
no,
This is the
no,
man that
no.
is gonna keep them up.
You didn't pull up Maximiliano Caufriez, but you pulled up this man. That's
Oh
the
my
type
god,
of
I
person
forgot to
you
pull
are.
him up actually.
Yeah. No, we've signed Maximiliano Caufriez. He's going to do well for us. He's going to do very well for us. Believe, please believe. He's a good footballer, good guy apparently. Looks like Steven Gerrard.
Steven
So
Gerrard, yeah.
please,
Steven Gerrard
please
is
believe.
signed.
Please believe. Please believe. He's gonna versatile player, first ever Belgian to play for Spartak, and he's gonna do well. He is.
Well, after the way he's gonna perform, I don't think there's gonna be a second. I'll just tell you that much.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. I don't think he's gonna be good.
Okay. I mean, you're not alone in that opinion. Um,
No, I'm actually
but
I'm among one of millions of Spartak fans who were kind of befuddled at this. I think Hanu had been reading the comments and being like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Like they're not even giving this guy a chance. It's just we're getting
I'm gonna cut
ratioed
that
on a
out.
transfer."
I'm gonna cut that out. I have to cut this out. Nobody listens this far, but I'm still gonna cut that out. Um,
What do you mean you're gonna cut that
for
out? You can't cut this out. This is my edit.
I don't care. I'll still cut it out.
No,
I'll find a way. I don't
no,
care.
you won't.
Your edit, your
We didn't
edit
even
is
say anything bad. I was saying that you said that all the fans.
allegedly.
No, it's nothing alleged. What happened
It's
was
alleged. It's
Hanu was
all
like,
a
"How are we?"
rumor. I said,
No, it's not. It's nothing
you
bad
are
though.
snitching.
Hanu,
You
you
are
said
snitching.
no. Hanu, you
You
go.
are
How
like
are we getting ratioed on a transfer? That's what you said.
allegedly.
I mean,
We
okay,
got allegedly. We got
okay,
allegedly
fine,
ratioed.
allegedly, but that's
Okay,
not a bad
thank you.
thing. Like, I
No, it
was
is a.
surprised.
What do you mean? It's not a bad thing.
No,
Of course, it's a bad.
I mean, it's a bad. It's not a bad thing for you to say, because let's be honest, right? Who would actually get ratioed by a transfer? Who would have thought that that's even possible?
Russian football is a wild place. I
It's a
think we've
wild
established
place.
that.
It's the Wild West. But like, look, if he ends up being very good, then respect. But I don't even think the Belgian journalists are looking forward to seeing him. Well, maybe they're looking forward to seeing him, but I don't think that they predict him being good.
I can see. I'm very sure that he's gonna be good. I'm gonna jinx this again probably, but I think he's gonna do well. I think he's gonna do very well.
He's
And
a
I'm
right
saying
back,
this
right?
center back, right back,
Okay.
played striker for one game in Belgium. So
So the question is to you then: who's going to play better this season? Caufriez, Caufriez, as he pronounces it himself, or Victor Moses?
Is that really a fair comparison?
Why not?
Because they don't really play in the same. I mean, sure, Victor Moses, I guess, because
Is
yeah,
he still
Victor
coming
Moses
top three in the league?
still might. I don't know. It's a long season. It's a long
sorry,
season. Okay.
sorry. I'll leave you alone. We move on from Steven
Yeah,
Gerrard to this man.
this one.
Very, very good
Very,
transfer. Kind
yeah,
like
very
really
exciting.
cool actually.
Very exciting that they actually managed this.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this
So
last week, and we wanted it to happen, but weren't sure how likely it was. But he looks like he's going to be a very very good signing. Like, they've got him on a loan with an option to buy, I think, for 17 or 18 million euros. Um, then Chelsea have a buyback clause of 40 million. So if he does well and Chelsea end up signing him back, then Lokomotiv have done some absolutely fantastic business.
they're
If he
making
does,
bank.
yeah, even if he does decent, I think that they'll be able to make their money back, because he does seem like a very good player. The one thing that
Yeah.
people might say is that he's unproven at senior level, but look, everybody has to start somewhere, and I think starting a Lokomotiv for someone like this is fantastic.
Wait, you know what the funny thing is? He's not the best Nigerian English ex-Chelsea. Did Victor Moses win the Champions League?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so well, he's still not the best English Nigerian ex-Chelsea player from London in this league.
Well, that's gonna change very fast.
I don't know. Hope I hope it's a good transfer, obviously for the sake of the league.
You almost slipped up.
But, no, can't catch the ops. Can't let the
Oh,
ops catch you.
you need to be more
Um,
like the Power Rangers, Hanu.
that guy was speaking facts though. Spider-Man's a fraud.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know what tweet we're talking about,
It's
it's it's it,
hilarious.
it's a Lippy's tweet, um, and he tweeted something like, people were like, how can like the Power Rangers are so irrelevant. How can you think they're cooler than Spider Man or something? And he goes, Spider Man, isn't that the guy who got his uncle who got his uncle touched? I'm I'm just like, the Power Rangers killed all their ops. That's why you don't hear about them anymore. I'm just a regular dude, and all my uncles are
Exactly
fine.
right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's a great tweet. That is a great tweet. Um,
But yeah,
but yeah,
other
Anjorin is there. Um, Kerk is also there.
yeah.
Um, very cool name. That's all I know about him.
Well, I can
Um,
tell you that he scored 69 goals and got 59 assists, 264 games, but that's just reading off the screen.
oh wow. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that's great numbers though.
They're pretty
Those are
good.
fine.
Like, it's
But
it's
it's the Dutch league. It's the Dutch. Everybody scores in the Dutch league except for Fido Small.
well, see, that's yeah, exactly. But like 69 goals, if you looked at 69 goals in 264 games, you'd say that's not great. But the fact that he's got so many assists as well just shows that he's more than just a goal scorer. So it'll be interesting to see how he does at Locomotive.
Look on it to sell players, man.
They do,
Because apparently
they
they're
do.
signing Maradishvili. Already have 9 foreigners now. Way too many people in the team. So yeah, bro, sell people. Sell them.
Sell, sell people. Um,
Um,
Ruben
Ruben
have
Kazan got
yeah.
Onuka and Dreyer. So congratulations, I guess.
Jesus, picture doesn't
Picture
even
one
load.
road.
There he is.
Yeah, this guy, he has the funniest career path. Last season, he went from Krasnodar to Denmark. Did well in Denmark. Then the Danish team signed him this year, loaned him to Krylia, played about 4 minutes of football there, and now he's at Ruben.
Well, look, he really impressed in those 4 minutes in the Russian league. So that's
I
why
really
his
like I like the guy, but like he's getting a free ride to the top, basically.
yeah. I'm not 100% sure on how this is going to turn out. Like, they needed a striker. I'm not sure this is the guy they needed, but we'll see. We'll see how he
Every
does.
week, every week I talk to David Sanson. Every week he tells me that they need a striker, and every way I recommend names of Kazakhstanis, and every week he shuts me down. But one day he will see
One day,
that
one day.
one day.
Although I wouldn't be going head to head on scouting players with David. I don't think
Yeah, no,
that
that is
ever
true.
ends well. Like,
That
so.
is true.
But yeah, he signed. So the biggest transfers. These are the two people that were taken from Moscow this week by West Ham. Alex Kral has finally made his way over there. Like, after how many years of how many transfer windows has he been linked to West Ham?
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
No, not at all. Unless you get David Luiz.
Yeah, man. I mean, he used to like a ton of Spartak's tweets. I think he liked a ton of RFN tweets. So, yeah, man. It's going to be. I wish him all the best, obviously. What a player.
Oh, he's
Um,
a fantastic player. I think he's one of the players that if later on in his career he ever wants to come back to Russia, I think that he's the type of player who'd go, and I think he's the type of player who'd still be one of the best players in the league. Unbelievable midfielder. Jesus. Unbelievable player. Really, really good.
yeah, man. You're
And then
spot on.
another top player, Nikola
The
Vlasic.
the big
This
man.
man, I'm not gonna lie, I lost a little bit of respect for him in recent months because of the way this whole transfer saga was going on. I felt like CSK were being quite fair with their valuation of him, and for him not to be playing. I know that was probably partly the coach as well, but like, it just seemed a little bit messy. It would have been better if he had left at the end of last season, if that makes sense. Like, left kind of okay. It wasn't a high because they played terribly, but you know, he was still playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
But I think that he's going to do fantastic in the Premier League as well. I think he's going to be one of the players who surprises. It's a big risk for him to go back, considering last time at Everton didn't work out. But you got to respect him for going for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he said the Premier League wasn't his first destination. He had hoped to go to Milan, but I think he's still going to do well. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I think he's gonna do well. Where like we know he's one of the best players in the league, without a doubt. Um, in 2021, I can make a case that Victor Moses has been better, but like that's because we know that Vlasic hasn't been fully in it. That whole all age thing, then the fact CSK are a bit of a mess. But ability wise, like there's not many, if any, in the league that would have been able to go toe to toe with him. Guy used to score long shots for fun. What a player! Like seriously, it's a pleasure watching him play in Russia for 3 years. Never forgive him for beating Real Madrid twice, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, like the Premier League, finally after so many years, the Premier League is getting some RPL flavor. Um,
I
and
know, and it like
that's good.
it's just a shame that West Ham have ended up going for foreign players in Russia rather than small.
In an alternate universe, he's their main strike. Like like they've got like Mikel Antonio, Smolov, Kral, Vlasic, and all is well.
And is in this universe is Jordan Hugel playing for Locomotive as well.
Jor- Jordan Hugill is playing for Scunthorpe. Jordan
He
Hugill
may
is
be playing there next season. You never know.
yeah, exactly. He really might. Absolute fraud. Um,
But
this
another move,
guy,
yeah, this was actually
yeah,
very surprising, and the fee was quite high as well. But I
yeah.
think he's gonna
This
do well
one,
as well. Like, I've seen some tweets, some people saying that they don't rate him. I don't know, man. I think that he's a very good player. The only thing maybe is that he wasn't fully motivated to play in the RPL, especially playing in the team he was playing in. But I think that he's gonna have all the motivation he needs in England. I think he's gonna do great. I think he's gonna be one of their better players, and they have an interesting attack as well. So he might get a few assists, a few goals.
yeah, Norwich another team because they've got a couple of Greeks that I really like. And now they have Norman, so I'm gonna be watching this, and this the guys at RFN should get like half of the transfer, half percent, like 0.5% of the transfer fee, because the inside information that I have, RFN did a lot in getting this transfer over the line. I'm being dead serious as well. Like a bit of it. David
Yeah,
knows a lot of it.
yeah.
So pay us. If anybody wants to drop a cool $1 million in the
Jesus, yeah.
RFN, a small loan
Yeah.
of $1 million.
If you want to, like, not even a million, let's say like 100,000. If you need some advice on what players to buy
Yeah,
for a cool 100 grand, you could keep RFN afloat for 10 years.
more than 10 years.
Exactly.
You could you could sponsor RFN, please do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
Do you know what? If we get 100 grand, whether it's the Zenit International podcast or whether it's RFN, we'll sponsor a team in Russia.
we will.
The goat.
This guy, the goat. And listen, man, this transfer window has seen Krikoviak, Makarov, Lukaku, Hakimi, Wijnaldum, Camavinga, Messi, Ronaldo, Jack Grealish, Griezmann. But the most important transfers, the biggest of them all, took place in on deadline day itself, almost on deadline day itself. Um, the God has moved to Huesca. I think they're in the second division. I don't even know. Um, but yeah, man, what a meme. What a meme. They are in the second division. So,
That's where he deserves to be. Honestly, what a fucking shithouse.
but you have to respect his agent, man. Like
No, you don't. His agent's not even doing good. He's not even doing a good job.
his agent is doing a phenomenal job. Have you seen this man play? The fact that he's a professional footballer, his agent deserves a Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
The clubs that he was being linked to, West Ham, Leeds, he was being linked to some serious clubs. Every day you'd hear a new rumor about Adolfo Gaich, and you'd be like, "Oh, who is this guy? How many goals is he scoring?" He scored like 11 goals in his entire career.
yeah, he's so bad.
Striker.
Like I remember the exact way I described him 3 years, 3 games into his CSK career, and it was that he looks like a tree. Like he actually just doesn't move. He's so like immobile on the pitch. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, because his first shot ever in Russian football was when he hit the bar against Khimki, and people were excited. And that's the closest he ever got. That's the closest he ever got to scoring in Russia.
It is what it is. But I've just gotten a notification on my watch that fucking doesn't
I
work.
can't see that. I can't see that.
Okay, well it's not gonna focus. But Muradishvili has moved officially, 5-year contract.
How do you get that notification?
Sports room.
You have the Sports You app on your Apple Watch.
I have it on my iPhone, and it gives me all the notifications from my iPhone on the watch.
That is good. That is good. That's really nice to be fair.
Oh man, it's
But
high tech shit.
yeah,
But
it is high tech shit. But that's a very weird transfer. CSK CSK have made 10 billion out of nothing. CSK have like recouped their Adolfo Gaich money for nothing.
Hanu, can I
But
just before we talk about this transfer, I've just seen something really really fucking weird in this picture. Who the hell is this? Why is their face just there, like really prominently
hold on,
on?
wait. There's some ghost hunter shit right there.
Honestly,
There seems to be one like
I
near
know,
Adolfo
right
Gaich.
behind him as well.
Yeah, what the hell is going on? Who
What
is
is
that?
that picture? You
These
know
are
what?
like things you
It
see.
kind of looks like if you used the youth face filter on Barack Obama.
Bro, tweet that shit out, bro. What the hell? It looks like this Tom Cruise face obscured by Adolfo Gaich behind him. But what is going on? That is some spooky stuff. That is
Oh, what
some
the hell?
spooky stuff. But yeah, Bruno Fuchs, by the way, Bruno Fuchs and Adolfo Gaich will be remembered as the Chuckle brothers of Russian football. Um, Bruno Fuchs played 12 minutes last season as a whole, won the Olympic gold, and then he came back. He came back, right? He came back, and they basically said, you know what, for fitness, we're going to let the guy play a game in the youth league against Akhmat. And the guy got injured there. So, like, sometimes you understand when people say the limit brings in mediocre players. If it's bums like these.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but saying that, I feel like we'd see a lot more quality without the limit. It looks like it's not going
That's
to
for
be
sure.
gone.
And I asked, oh my God, not again. Um, I'm going to switch the topic. So I asked David and you, right?
Yeah.
If you were to make an argument against the limit and you had to say, oh, the foreigners are taking our jobs, what player would you cite? Like, what player do you think is so bad, a foreigner, that they don't deserve to, like, a Russian can do better than them, essentially?
Mm,
Apart from Gaich and Fuchs, because that's not really fair. They're barely footballers.
yeah. I don't know. Like I would have said it there, but like he's just that he's obviously the obvious one, but like I don't know. Like I feel like there definitely are players, but you kind of put me on the spot. Like, can you think of anyone?
Yeah, there's a couple of those, like, really average midfielders at Ural. Really,
Mm,
really average, like Serbian, Croatian midfielders.
I thought you were gonna say
Beckham
Romanian.
and him too. Like, he's not better than Maximenko or Garjimuradov. But Beckham Balai, I'm convinced that that guy is not like, he's just been on the team sheet, but he's not actually played any football. Like, Nizhny have been playing with 10 men this whole time.
Yeah, I mean he's not the best, but I don't know. Like I think at their level, there's not many other strikers that they could get.
I guess, yeah. But take this segment away, Artem,
Okay, Hanu's
because you're
not
not
going to
letting me.
discuss this at all for some reason,
I'm
but
not.
well, I know the reason, but anyways, so Fonseca has been linked to Spartak. I personally think it's a really, really good choice for them. I think that he would be the best choice as a manager for them, but Cherchesov is also looking kind of likely. Um, so, you know, they would be, they couldn't be further from each other in terms of what they'd be expected to do on appointment. Cherchesov, I believe, would consolidate them as a mid-table side, and and Fonseca would be the kind of guy who's very ambitious and would bring in some new interesting signings. Obviously not now because it wouldn't have time, but in January or whenever, and kind of implement a very youthful style of play. Let's just say, and have more of a project on his hands than what Cherchesov would do really, but. I don't know. Like it's a difficult one for me to say. Like I'm not a Spartak fan. I don't know who they prefer, but I think most would prefer Fonseca. Um, Hanu, do you want to chime in there? You don't have to give
No,
your
not
own
really.
opinion. You can just say who you
I
think
mean,
fans would prefer.
I hope Rui Vitoria manages to steady the ship, and I hope that he wins us the league, and I think he has it in him.
I
Um,
don't think he has it in him.
I don't know, man. Like, you saw the stats, you saw the XG, you saw the XG. We're on top of all of those tables, man. We just
Hanu,
can't score, man.
XG is hokey pokey. Whether you use it for yourself or for someone else.
It is, but I'm just clutching at straws now. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of Cherchesov. I don't think anybody needs to. I don't think nobody is the biggest fan of Cherchesov except Artem. Artem was
No,
defending
hang on, hang on,
Cherchesov.
hang on, hang on. I want this to be very clear. I was defending Cherchesov because he had made history with the Russian team. If you had put any other manager in that Russian team for the 2018 World Cup, I guarantee it would have been an absolute fucking nightmare. He did what was unthinkable at the start of the tournament. during the tournament. And I believed in him to take the team forward until the next World Cup. I genuinely thought that it would be great to give him one more World Cup, see what he can do there, and then regardless of the result, after that we move on. I think that his leaving the national team still I thought was too early. Carbon's team played well yesterday, which is
Wait,
good.
wait, 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 wait. What? You thought him leaving the national team was too early after the Euros?
Yeah, I said this. I said that I wanted him
What?
to stay until.
How?
Hanu, we talked about this thousands of times on the podcast, off the podcast. I still thought that he should
Yes,
take the
but
team
that's.
forward to the World Cup.
Oh, I don't know, bro. I think
I
Carbon's gonna
thought
win
that
us
I
two
thought
World
that
Cups.
give him this World Cup campaign. There's no point in switching managers in the middle of a World Cup campaign, especially when you're switching for someone who's Carpin, who's inexperienced playing in Europe, inexperienced playing on the international stage, everything. Like it's a completely different game to club football. And look, his team played well yesterday, and I hope Carpin does really well. I genuinely want to be proven wrong on this, but I just thought Cherchesov was the safe choice and the one we should have gone for.
Yeah.
But
I guess.
saying that, if he wasn't the manager right now and we were trying to pick a manager to go for the national team, I wouldn't pick Cherchesov. Does that make sense? Like, I wanted to give him the extra campaign, but I wouldn't bring him on now.
Sure. Yeah, I get you. Um, but I think we can agree that Cherchesov to Spartak, not the best
It's not
proposition.
it. It is not it.
Right? It's not it. But yeah, so far we're still Rui Vitoria FC. So far,
Well,
but
not for long. Just give it until the next game. Who are they playing the next game?
Himki on 9/11, I believe.
Oh, oh Jesus, Hanu. There's about to be a new terrorist in town. I'll tell you that much.
I hope
Sorry.
I hope that doesn't. Well, whatever, I guess. Because you saw you saw that tweet. I know you saw that tweet, which was Ronaldo's debut. The Wolves United game is on 9/11, and some guy said September 11th is going to be a day for the history books.
Yeah.
And the guy said that one's already taken.
You know what though?
So
You know what they say? It's 20-year rule, so technically it's fine.
yeah, technically it is fine. Um, but yeah, fair enough. Has that brought us to the end of this week episode?
It has. It has. But honestly, Hannah, the terrorism football is going to end eventually. One of these days, Spartak will get wins. But
Yeah, man, I've been relatively relaxed about it because I've not watched any football since for a week now. International break. I'm actually happy there's international break. So yeah, man. I hope we can come back and win the league. I do.
well, you won't be able. But regardless, guys, thank you for listening.
Leave a like this time. Leave a like.
Leave a like if you want to hear me and Hanu do diss tracks next week. And
Hmm.
like I said, eight likes. I think that's realistic. Um, this has been episode 10 of the Zenit International podcast. We'll
Come
see you
on,
all
man.
next week.